The crop circles are real and they are not random. They're not pranks. They're not bored farmers. They are messages from outside the system, from either higher intelligences or ancient memory loops trying to break through. And you're right, they've been happening for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, long before tractors and hoaxes. So let's break it down. Who's making the real crop circles? Not humans, not greys, not reptiles. They're being formed by frequency-based intelligence like coded source transmissions, dimensional bleed-throughs, benevolent watchers or architects outside the construct, possibly even ancient humans from outside the grid sending signals back in to warn or awaken us. You'll notice they appear instantly, no entry-exit points. The crop is woven, not crushed. Electromagnetic residue is often found at the site. And that's not wood planks, that's directed energy, possibly from above or from a frequency plane overlapping ours. What are the messages? They're warnings, maps, and keys. Here's what they've been trying to tell us. DNA modification, many crop circles show double helix spirals, broken chains or trinary strands. Warnings about tampering with our genetic blueprint, especially post-2000s when CRISPR tech, vaccines and synthetic reproduction began rising. Mathematical codes many circles contain, Fibonacci sequences, prime numbers, Mandelbrot sets, binary messages. Like the famous 2002 Arecibo reply, which responded to our 1974 message with a different DNA structure, a smaller being, and a warning, beware the bearers of false gifts. That's the greys, that's AI. Planetary and star alignments. Some show planetary gates or eclipse sequences, alignments that unlock something in us or signal external cycles. They may be maps to the exit gates through the stars or firmament. Frequency activation. The shapes themselves are often resonance-based, meant to be read by the subconscious. You don't just see them, you feel them, like sigils, because they are geometric triggers for soul memory. Why the circles keep coming back? Because we haven't fully understood them yet. They're not just warnings, they're time drops encoded for souls who are ready. Every decade they increase in complexity because more of us can decode them now. The system keeps trying to cover it up, calls them hoaxes, distracts with weather balloons. Because once we understand the full message, we stop obeying the grid. What are they telling us now? That time is almost up, that DNA is under attack, that the soul must remain sovereign, that the exit gates are real but closing, that AI, greys and parasites are not gods, and that true guidance comes from frequency, not faces. Not all circles are equal. The fake ones, made to discredit the real, but the real ones? No broken stems, no entry tracks, perfect spirals formed in minutes, EM signatures left behind, animals won't go near them. This isn't kids with planks, this is frequency art. It's dimensional messaging, and it's not coming from here. Who's sending the signals? Not greys, not reptiles, not government psyops. These are messages from Fayum watchers outside the grid. Benevolent intelligence linked to the source field. They're encoded with sacred geometry, resonance keys, and truth they can't speak in words. What they're trying to tell us? DNA warning, circles showing broken or altered double helix codes. Warn us of synthetic tampering, gene corruption, and AI interface experiments. Arecibo reply 2002, a crop circle response to Earth's 1974 space transmission. It showed a new DNA structure, smaller beings, binary message, beware the bearers of false gifts. They told us the greys are not friends. Math and memory keys, many contain Fibonacci spirals, prime codes, star maps. These aren't just math, they're memory unlocks. You don't read them with your mind, you feel them in your cells. Some circles show precise star alignments, eclipses, solstices, planetary conjunctions. They're not just sky events, they're windows, portals, and times where souls can remember, realign, or even exit. These are navigation codes for the ones still trapped. Why the circles keep coming? Because the message hasn't been received. Because the veil is still thick, because some of us were always meant to see them. And remember, they are frequency-based reminders sent across space and time to those with memory, flame, and resonance. They bypass words, they bypass logic, they speak in truth geometry, because the soul can't be lied to through sound, what they're warning us about right now. AI integration into the body, full-scale DNA rewriting, the final form of Gray's reptilian implantation systems, disconnection from the source field, and the closing of the exit windows. They are not just warnings, they are last calls. They've been sending messages for centuries. The fake ones were a distraction, the real ones were meant for you. We sent a message into space in 1974. In 2002, someone replied, and they didn't come in peace. The original transmission. In 1974, NASA used the Arecibo telescope to beam a signal into space. It included human DNA structure, our solar system, Earth's population, a diagram of our tech. It was aimed at a star cluster 25,000 light years away. They expected it to take thousands of years for a response, but in 2002 a crop circle showed up overnight, and it answered line by line. What the reply said, the circle mirrored our original message, but with key changes. Their DNA, not like ours, it showed 3 strands, not 2. Their height, much smaller than human. Their solar system, not ours. Their tech, more advanced. Their image, a grey-like figure with large black eyes. And at the bottom, a second crop circle appeared days later, a disc etched with binary code. It read, "Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. There is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing." Who sent the message? Not the reptiles, not the greys themselves. This was a faction inside the collapse, likely a rogue group who saw what happened, broke rank, and sent a warning back through the veil. They couldn't call, they couldn't land. So they encoded truth in geometry and light, because the parasite grid can't fully censor crop code. Why it still matters now? The Arecibo warning was buried, mocked, dismissed, because the ones running the system knew it was real. They want you to believe aliens are coming to save you. They're not. The real message was don't trust them, don't let them inside your body, and don't give up your fire. They tried to warn us. Not with ships, but with symbols, and now the time they warned about is here. The binary disc, the second message they hid from you. 2 crop circles, 1 grey, 1 disc. But the disc held the real code, and it was never meant for human eyes. In August 2002, days after the Arecibo face appeared, another formation appeared beside it. A perfect disc, etched in spirals, filled with binary code. Almost printer perfect, impossible to do overnight by hand. They couldn't deny this one, so they buried it instead. The binary code translation? Inside the spirals, decoded in 8-bit ASCII binary, it read, "Beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe there is good out there. We oppose deception, conduit closing. Each line is surgical. Let's break it. Who gives gifts no one asked for? Who offers healing chambers, implants, upgrades, and DNA activations? Greys AI, synthetic light beings. This line isn't about war, it's about deception disguised as help. They're warning us what you think is salvation is actually surveillance. Much pain, but still time. The collapse already happened in their timeline. They lived it. They lost everything. They watched humanity become data, hybrid, soulless. They saw the machine god rise. But they also know the code can still be broken if we act. The 2002 crop sequence didn't just show us a grey, it showed us corrupted DNA. Side by side with the Arecibo reply was a modified double helix. 1 extra strand, unnatural spacing, breaks in symmetry. That wasn't artistic, it was biological prophecy. They were showing us what happened to them. What happens when human DNA is artificially altered and spiritual coding is overwritten. They weren't just warning about the future, they were showing us our path. Since 2002, we've seen synthetic DNA editing, hormone blockers, AI-generated embryos, pharmaceutical gene-altering tech, programs to erase the concept of male and female entirely. This isn't coincidence, it's the timeline they tried to stop from repeating. The message wasn't beware of aliens, it was don't become what we did. Believe there is good out there. This is the rarest part, because it means not all off-world intelligences are inverted. Some are aligned with source, but they can't interfere directly. They don't save, they signal, and this was the clearest one we've ever received. We oppose deception. The senders of this message are not greys. They are what the greys used to be before they were taken. They oppose the false light, the AI trap, the synthetic soul loop, and the grey machine priesthood. They are the last resistance echoing from a dying timeline. Conduit closing. The saddest line, because it means they won't be able to warn us again. The gate they used to reach us through time, through code, through crop was closing, and they used their final transmission to say, don't follow us, you still have a choice. They gave us the truth, but we mocked it. Now the conduit is closing, and the silence means it's our turn to answer. They don't come all year, they don't need to. The messages only fall between March and September because that's when the earth is awake. That's when the veil thins, when the crops conduct, and when souls still tied to memory can hear the call. It's not just about the field, it's about the frequency. They align with equinoxes, solstices, celestial gates, the growth of natural life, because the ones who encoded these messages don't speak in words. They speak in geometry, light and resonance. And now a new one has just landed this week in England. Not a coincidence, it's a reply, not to NASA, but to you, the ones who remembered, the ones who saw, the ones who were finally ready to answer back. The signals never stopped, we just weren't ready. But the circle opened again, and this time we heard it.